In Jewish tradition, there is an old idea. A wise man should have more understanding in his mind than gold in his pocket. For thousands of years, Jewish families lived through exile, persecution, migration, economic collapse, and uncertainty. Kingdoms rose and fell, borders changed, entire communities disappeared. Yet somehow, many Jewish families continued rebuilding again and again and again. Why? Was it luck? No. The answer was often psychological, a way of thinking about money, education, family, discipline, and the future. Today, we're going deep into the psychology behind Jewish finance success. Not myths, not conspiracy theories, but the mindset patterns historians, economists, and business thinkers have studied for generations. And by the end of this video, you may realize something surprising. The greatest Jewish investment was never money itself. It was mindset. In many Jewish households, education was never optional. A child might grow up hearing, if someone can take your house, your land, or your business, they still cannot take what is inside your mind. Historically, Jewish communities often faced restrictions on land ownership and political power. That created a powerful survival instinct. Invest in what cannot be stolen. Knowledge, skills, wisdom, understanding. This psychology changed everything. While others chased status, many Jewish families focused on learning. Books became treasures. Debate became training. Questions became strength. In Jewish tradition, asking questions is considered wisdom, not disrespect. A child who asks why is often praised because questioning sharpens the mind. And in finance, a sharp mind is more valuable than blind confidence. That is why many successful investors think carefully before acting emotionally. Because financial survival often depends more on thinking than earning. There is a phrase many Jewish families understand deeply. We plant trees whose shade we may never sit under. That is generational thinking. Modern society trains people to think short-term. Buy now, flex now, consume now. But long-term wealth requires patience. Historically, Jewish families often planned decades ahead, not just for themselves, but for children and grandchildren. This changes financial behavior completely. Instead of asking, how can I look wealthy today? The mindset becomes, how can my family stay secure for generations? That psychology creates discipline. It creates patience. It creates sacrifice. A father works not only for himself. A mother saves not only for herself. Everything becomes connected to the future. And this is one of the deepest secrets behind lasting wealth. People who think only about today often stay trapped in today. People who think about generations build differently. In many traditional Jewish teachings, money itself is not worshipped. Money is viewed as a tool for stability, for family, for education, for charity, for survival, but never the meaning of life itself. And psychologically, this is important because emotional attachment to money creates dangerous behavior. People overspend to impress strangers. They gamble for excitement. They chase luxury to feel important. But disciplined financial thinkers often ask a different question. Does this purchase strengthen my future or weaken it? That one question can change an entire life. Historically, many Jewish families developed strong caution around money because survival required caution. Economic instability taught discipline. Uncertainty taught preparation, and preparation became culture. There is another ancient Jewish principle. Do not separate yourself from the community. For centuries, Jewish communities survived through cooperation. Families supported each other. Businesses trusted each other. Communities shared opportunities and information. This created strong economic networks because one person alone is vulnerable, but connected people become powerful. And this principle exists in many successful cultures around the world. Relationships matter. Trust matters. Reputation matters. In business, your name can become more valuable than your money. That is why many successful entrepreneurs protect reputation carefully. Because opportunities often flow through trust, not strangers. And psychologically, people who grow up in strong communities often develop greater financial confidence and resilience. One fascinating aspect of Jewish intellectual culture is debate. Historically, Jewish scholars debated ideas constantly. Questions, interpretations, arguments, analysis. Why does this matter financially? Because debate trains critical thinking, and critical thinking protects people from manipulation. Most people lose money emotionally. They follow crowds, panic during fear, become greedy during hype. But independent thinkers pause and analyze. They ask, what is everyone missing? What is the long-term consequence? What is the real risk? That mindset becomes financial armor. Because markets reward disciplined thinkers, not emotional crowds. Throughout history, Jewish communities experienced instability many times, and hardship changes psychology. People who face uncertainty often become more adaptable, more cautious, more resourceful, and more focused on preparation. This creates survival intelligence, the ability to rebuild after loss. And perhaps this is one of the strongest lessons of all. True wealth is not measured only by what you own. It is measured by your ability to recover. Anyone can look rich during easy times, but resilient people survive difficult times. And survival itself creates wisdom. One of the most misunderstood parts of Jewish financial tradition is charity. In Judaism, charity, often called tzedakah, is not viewed simply as kindness. It is viewed as responsibility. The philosophy is powerful. If success only benefits yourself, then success is incomplete. This mindset changes how wealth is viewed. Money becomes connected to responsibility, to family, to community, to future generations. And psychologically, people who see wealth as responsibility often manage it more carefully. Because money with purpose tends to last longer than money driven only by ego. Now here is the truth most people miss. The psychology behind Jewish finance success is not magic. It is not genetics. It is not conspiracy. It is mindset patterns repeated across generations. Education over appearance, long-term thinking over short-term pleasure, community over isolation, discipline over emotion, preparation over impulse. And the beautiful part is this: these principles can be learned by anyone. You do not need to be born into a specific culture to adopt wisdom, because wisdom belongs to humanity. The real question is not, what religion are successful people? The real question is, what habits create successful people? There is an old Jewish saying, "Who is rich? The one who is satisfied with what he has." Perhaps true wealth was never only about money. Perhaps it was always about mindset, the ability to think long-term, to stay disciplined, to value learning, to build family strength, to survive hard times without losing wisdom. Because money can disappear, but mindset can rebuild everything. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more deep discussions on finance, psychology, history, and the philosophies behind wealth. And remember, the greatest investment is often not in the market, but in the mind.